Imagine the dead rising from their graves, their sole purpose to feed on the living. This is the horrifying world of zombies. The concept of zombies has been a part of global consciousness for centuries, a timeless source of our deepest fears. Why? Because zombies represent an uncanny distortion of life and death, a grotesque mockery of our very humanity. They are the dark mirror that reflects our own mortality, our dread of the unknown, and our primal fear of predation. Now let's delve deeper into this fear. It's not just about the gruesome image of rotting corpses walking around, nor is it about the threat they pose. The terror of zombies lies in their relentless hunger for human flesh and the horrifying idea of being consumed alive. It's the fear of losing oneself, of becoming one of them. Zombies also tap into our innate fear of disease and contamination. They embody the idea of a contagion that can spread rapidly, turning loved ones into monsters. This is a fear that has been magnified in light of recent pandemics, making the concept of zombies even more terrifying. But it's not just fear that makes zombies so intriguing. There's a certain fascination that comes with the undead. Perhaps it's the morbid curiosity of what lies beyond death, or the thrill of surviving against impossible odds. Whatever it is, zombies have managed to capture our imaginations and hold a firm grip on popular culture. From ancient folklore to modern media, the image of the zombie has evolved and diversified, yet its core essence remains the same: a relentless, flesh-eating monster that once was human. Whether it's the shambling corpses of George A. Romero's movies or the fast, aggressive infected in modern video games, zombies have become a staple of horror and a symbol of our collective fears. Today we'll uncover the chilling history and origins of these flesh-eating monsters. We'll explore the cultural significance of zombies, their evolution in media, and why they continue to fascinate and terrify us. So brace yourself, because we're about to venture into the horrifying world of the undead. Zombies didn't just appear out of nowhere. Their roots go back to ancient times, embedded deeply in the rich tapestry of folklore and mythology. To trace their origins, we must venture into the heart of Haitian and African cultures. Here, in the cradle of ancient civilizations, the concept of the undead was first born. In the vibrant, mystical tapestry of Haitian voodoo, the zombie was a reanimated corpse, brought back to life through dark magic and sorcery. This wasn't the brain-hungry monster we're familiar with today, but a soulless being, enslaved by a sorcerer for their own nefarious purposes. This chilling concept was a reflection of the deep societal fears of slavery and loss of personal freedom. Simultaneously, in the vast continent of Africa, particularly in regions like South Africa and Angola, there existed similar tales of the undead. In these cultures, the undead were often seen as spirits or ghosts, trapped between life and death, a terrifying prospect in societies that held ancestral reverence in high regard. These stories, woven into the fabric of oral tradition, were passed down through generations. They were told around the fire, in the darkness of the night, serving as both a cautionary tale and a macabre form of entertainment. The concept of the undead served as a mirror, reflecting the fears and anxieties of the society that birthed it. As people from these cultures migrated and their stories spread, the concept of the zombie began to take root in new lands. The zombie evolved, morphing from a symbol of societal fears into a creature of pure horror. And with each retelling, each reinterpretation, the zombie grew more terrifying, more monstrous. From old tales told around the fire, these mindless creatures have crawled their way into modern nightmares. They have transcended cultural boundaries, evolving from ancient folklore into a universal symbol of fear. Today, they stand as an enduring testament to our collective dread of the unknown, of death, and of the horrifying possibility of a life devoid of free will. Over time, zombies have clawed their way out of folklore and into the spotlight of popular culture. The introduction of zombies in films and books marked a significant shift in how we perceive these creatures. Their journey from the realm of folklore to the silver screen was not an overnight transformation. It took decades of evolution and reinterpretation to shape the zombies we know today. The 1960s was a pivotal period for the zombie genre, with the release of George A. Romero's iconic film, Night of the Living Dead. This movie redefined the concept of zombies. No longer were they the mind-controlled subjects of voodoo magic, they were now reanimated corpses with an insatiable hunger for human flesh. Romero's film struck a chord with audiences who were both terrified and fascinated by this new interpretation. Following the success of Night of the Living Dead, zombies became a staple in horror cinema. They began to appear in a slew of films, each adding its own unique twist to the zombie mythos. In the world of literature, Max Brooks' World War Z took the zombie genre to new heights. This novel, released in the early 21st century, presented a global perspective on a zombie apocalypse. It was a captivating narrative that combined elements of horror, social commentary, and geopolitical intrigue. The book's success led to a blockbuster film adaptation, further cementing zombies' place in pop culture. Zombies also found their way into comic books, video games, and even television series. The popularity of The Walking Dead, both as a comic series and a TV show, is testament to the enduring appeal of zombies in our collective consciousness. These works not only terrified audiences, but also cemented the zombie as a staple in horror culture. From Romero's groundbreaking film to Brooks's enthralling novel, The Living Dead have risen to a level of prominence in pop culture that few other creatures have achieved. The evolution of zombies is a testament to our fascination with the macabre and the unknown, a fascination that continues to fuel the popularity of these undead beings. Zombies have evolved from slow-moving corpses to terrifying, fast-paced predators. Picture this: a lumbering creature, its movements awkward and uncoordinated, driven by a primal hunger for human flesh. This is the classic image of a zombie, a creature that has been a part of our collective nightmares for decades. But this image has changed over time. In the early days, zombies were often portrayed as slow and brainless, a stark contrast to the intelligent and often cunning creatures we see today. The evolution of zombies in pop culture is a fascinating journey, one that reflects our changing fears and anxieties. Initially, the terror of zombies lay in their numbers and their relentless pursuit. They were slow but unstoppable, a walking metaphor for our own mortality. Their strength lay in their numbers and the horrifying prospect of being overwhelmed by a horde of the undead. But as our societies changed, so did our fears. We began to fear not just death, but the loss of our identity, our individuality. And so the zombie evolved. They became faster, smarter, more dangerous. They weren't just mindless creatures anymore, but predators, hunting in packs, using strategy and coordination. This shift marked a significant change in the portrayal of zombies, making them even more terrifying. The evolution didn't stop there. In more recent years, we've seen the rise of the intelligent zombie. These are creatures who retain some semblance of their former selves, their memories, their emotions. They are a chilling reminder of what they once were and what we could become. This evolution of zombies is a reflection of our changing fears. We fear the loss of our humanity, our individuality. We fear becoming mindless drones, consumed by our baser instincts. And so, the zombie has evolved to embody these fears. Ultimately, the evolution of the zombie is a testament to our collective imagination and our ability to create monsters that truly terrify us. From slow-moving corpses to fast-paced predators, the zombie has come a long way. And as our fears continue to change, who knows what form they'll take next? As our fears evolve, so do the monstrosities that haunt us. In a digital age, zombies have found a new hunting ground. In this era of technology and connectivity, zombies have made the jump from the physical to the virtual world, finding new life in the realm of video games and online media. Those shambling, moaning creatures that were once confined to the pages of horror novels and the frames of classic films now roam freely in the pixelated landscapes of our favorite games and the imaginative narratives of digital storytelling. Video games, in particular, have provided a fertile ground for the growth and evolution of the zombie archetype. From the terrifying hordes in Left 4 Dead to the more strategic undead in Plants vs. Zombies, these digital incarnations have taken on a life of their own. They challenge players' skills, test their survival instincts, and continue to fuel our fascination with the undead. But it's not just in the gaming world where zombies have found a new lease on life. Online media, with its endless streams of content, has also played a significant role in the undead's digital domination. Web series, podcasts, and online comics featuring zombies have become popular, offering fresh and innovative takes on the undead mythos. The internet, in its vast and varied expanse, has allowed for a broadening of the zombie narrative. No longer just mindless flesh eaters, zombies in the digital age can be tragic figures, comic relief, or even heroes, depending on the story. This flexibility has allowed the genre to reach a wider audience, capturing the interest of those who might not typically be drawn to horror. There's no denying it, zombies are everywhere. They've crept into our games, infiltrated our podcasts, and shuffled their way into our webcomics. The digital age has breathed new life into these undead creatures, giving them a new playground to haunt and a new audience to scare. Zombies have invaded every corner of our media, making them an inescapable part of our culture. But what if a zombie apocalypse actually happened? Could we survive? It's a question many have pondered, especially after spending a late night engrossed in a zombie flick or video game. So let's delve into this chilling proposition. Popular theories about a zombie apocalypse often center on a deadly virus or pathogen that spreads uncontrollably, reanimating the deceased and turning the living into mindless, flesh-craving creatures. It's a scenario that's been played out in countless movies and books, from Night of the Living Dead to World War Z. But what do scientists say about the likelihood of such an event? Well, the consensus among experts is that a zombie apocalypse, as depicted in popular culture, is highly unlikely. Firstly, while there are indeed parasites and pathogens that can influence the behavior of their hosts, none are known to cause the dead to rise or the living to lose their humanity. For example, the cordyceps fungus, infamous for its ability to take over the minds of ants, is often cited as a possible real-world zombie maker. However, it's important to note that this fungus is species-specific and doesn't affect humans. Secondly, even if such a pathogen did exist, it would face a host of obstacles in creating a worldwide pandemic. Modern medical science, with its understanding of disease transmission and capabilities for quarantining and treating infectious diseases, would likely be able to contain and combat such a threat. Lastly, the concept of the dead rising again violates several fundamental laws of nature. Without a functioning circulatory system, muscles and organs, including the brain, would quickly cease to function. So, while the idea of a zombie apocalypse makes for a thrilling narrative, it's largely rooted in fiction rather than fact. It's a testament to our fascination with the macabre and the unknown, a dark mirror reflecting our deepest fears and anxieties. While it remains a chilling thought, the reality of a zombie apocalypse seems to be confined to the realm of fiction. Zombies have crept into our culture, and it seems like they're here to stay. They've clawed their way from the depths of ancient folklore through to our silver screens and now into the digital age. The reason for this undying appeal? Well, it's multifaceted, just like our flesh-eating friends themselves. Zombies represent our deepest fears, and yet they're strangely relatable. They're us, or at least what we could become. They're a reflection of our anxieties about death, disease, and the breakdown of society. They force us to confront our mortality, and in doing so, they make us feel more alive. It's a macabre dance of dread and delight that keeps us coming back for more. Moreover, zombies have been a constant source of creative inspiration. They've evolved from mindless, shambling corpses to complex characters with their own stories to tell. This has given storytellers endless opportunities to explore new themes and narratives. Zombies have become symbols of societal issues such as consumerism, class struggles, and even the climate crisis. They're a mirror held up to our world, reflecting back our darkest fears and deepest flaws. And let's not forget the adrenaline rush. The thrill of surviving a zombie apocalypse, of being the last one standing, is an intoxicating blend of fear and exhilaration. Whether it's in movies, video games, or novels, we love to put ourselves in the shoes of the survivors, to test our mettle against the undead hordes. Lastly, zombies are a shared cultural experience. They've created a sense of community among fans, a collective fascination that spans generations and cultures. We bond over our shared love of the macabre, and together, we revel in the horror that zombies bring. So it seems zombies aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Their grip on our collective imagination is as strong as ever, and their influence continues to spread. Zombies, once figures of ancient folklore, have become undying icons of horror, forever haunting our collective nightmares.